and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having a fantastic start to your week. Mine was actually kicked off by about a foot of snow, and that started around Sunday morning. I woke up and there was about 8 inches of snow on the ground. And by last night it was almost a little over a foot. Now today has been kind of warm, so it's melted down a bit, but since the snow came in yesterday and just kind of kept me inside, I decided to go ahead and finish one of the books, and I wanted to review them for you. And that particular book happens to be A Salted Caramel by Amanda Flower. Now, this is the first book in the Amish Candy Shop Mystery series. It is a cozy series, and it is centered around the main character, Bailey King. Now, Bailey herself is not Amish, but her father's side of the family is, and they live in Harvest, Ohio. And she would visit them in the summers as a child, but as she grew into an adult, she spent less and less time, but they do communicate via letters. Now, Bailey lives in New York, and she works for JP Chocolates, which stands for Jean-Pierre Chocolates, and she, at the start of the book, is trying to get the position of head chocolatier at his shop because he himself is going to be retiring. But she gets a call from her grandmother letting her know that her grandfather is ill and that she should come visit, and so she decides she's going to go visit them, even though she is kind of on eggshells trying to figure out who is going to get head chocolatier. She finds her grandfather having an argument with an Englisher named Tyson Colton, who's trying to buy up all the Amish shops in Harvest, and her grandfather tells him that he is never going to sell, and Tyson is like, yes you will, and storms off. Her grandfather ends up having a mini heart attack, so the doctors come and she finds out that it is more severe than what they originally thought, and that he's more or less more closer to the end of his life. And so Bailey decides that she's going to stick around for a little bit longer, and that she will last minute rush to New York and find out who the actual winner is of the head chocolatier position. Now, her friend Cass comes, and this is after she wakes up the next morning, and she goes downstairs and she finds Tyson Colton dead in the chocolate shop with a knife in his back, and her grandfather are the ones that are being primarily suspected. And so before she ends up in jail, or her sickly grandfather does, she rushes to find who the actual murderer is. This would be the first Amish series that I have read, and I will say that for the first book, it is really well done, and I do enjoy Bailey. She's well fleshed out, and I do enjoy that she is really good at explaining the different Amish terms, and is respectful that her grandparents are Amish, and she does help her friend Cass that comes to help her, to urge her to go back to New York before she finds out about the murder. She does make sure that Cass is understanding as much as she can as one who is not Amish and has never spent any time around an Amish individual. So she helps them to be more understanding and respectful as well. So I really enjoyed that, and I also enjoyed how Amanda Flower did a really good job of painting the picture of Harvest. You have a really good idea. Oh, the kids are out slaying again. I have to sidetrack off, I have a backyard that I do nothing with, but it's really big, and the kids next door, they come and slay. But it's so funny to suddenly start seeing people walk out of the tree line to go into my backyard. Anyways, I digress from that. But yeah, so it has been super fun to read this book. It was very easy to read. Of course, it only took me a day to complete this book. It was so well done. I love the chemistry between Bailey and Aiden. I can't wait to see how that develops moving on into the next book. I like how before what happened in the book, Cass and Bailey had such a good relationship between each other. It's a little bit different at the end. I don't want to spoil it, but I think that Bailey and Cass can overcome it. It's super something that I think that Bailey is a great character, and what I do know about her, that she can help to bring that recover her relationship and make it so much better in the end. But I really liked her grandparents and how they treated Bailey in terms of letting her know that she doesn't have to change who she is to be with them. So I really enjoyed that. Sorry that came out really forced, but I have a window right here and I have a window right here and I can see the kids. So I'm so sorry. And I have no plans of editing that out, so it is what it is. Anyways, let's move on to the things that I did. I had 2 cons about this book, and they weren't weighty enough to actually drop like a star or anything in my 5-star rating, so I'm just sharing them to be sharing them. But the first one is Eric Sharp. Eric Sharp happens to be the boyfriend that Bailey has at the beginning of the book, and literally every interaction this guy has with her is he's screaming at her. She's explained to him why she's still there in Harvest, what's going on, and he's still screaming at her. Literally. And I am kind of dumbfounded when I read it, is how Bailey, when she had interactions with an even saltier sheriff and Officer Carpenter, she, like, even a dash of how, like, rude they were, she was, like, clocking them. But comes to Eric, no, she just, like, let him steamroll right over her, and she just basically was like, oh, poor me, cry. And I was like, no, honey, you need to, like, do something about that, which she does. If you read the book, it is hilarious. But the second one is going to be the sheriff and Officer Carpenter. I do realize, now that I just thought of it, Carpenter, you were designed not to like specifically, but coming to the sheriff. Sir, if you go to a community and you sign up to be their sheriff and you don't like the Amish and the community is 95% Amish, why did you sign up to be the sheriff? Because he has an extreme hate. And I was like, oh my gosh, why would someone do that? But I believe that Flower is going to explain that, and I can't wait to find out what it is because I'm super, super excited for the next book, which I do have, which happens to be right here, which is Lethal Licorice. I really do recommend this book. I think that it is well done. It has such smooth plot flow, it has great characters, it has some comic relief, a dash of sadness, some murder in there, and I just really, really enjoyed it. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this review, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Please let me know down below if you've read any Amish community books, if you are going to read this one or not, and I hope you guys do well. Till next time, bye!